General characteristics of research. There are general characteristics of research which should be known to the students of research. And in order to know those general characteristics of research, we need to know the nature of research, that what is the nature of research and what is meant by research. Research is systematic, it's logical, empirical, reductive, and replicable. It is systematic because we know that the procedures behind the exploration of new knowledge, research, is highly systematic. We go like those scientific steps involved, like there is observation, and then on the basis of observation, there is this hypothesis formation, and then on the basis of hypothesis, data collection, analysis, and interpretation is involved, and then there is conclusion. Okay, so research is systematic, and it is logical because we are moving within the discovery of knowledge, this research, logically, right? So we are, meeting the requirements of logic, and this is not something which is done ordinarily or without any proper logic. So the study is proceeding in a very logical manner, in a very scientific manner, right? And it is empirical because it is based on data, a particular data. On the basis of that empiricism, the process of research is moving forward, right? So this is empirical. And then it is reductive because the relationship between different phenomena that is established, right? And that connection between various things, those are analyzed, okay? Those connections and those relationships are studied. So it is reductive because it is reduced to the level where those facts which are under study, their relationships are established on the basis of data, okay? And then it's replicable because anyone could come up and challenge the verification. So when the procedures are followed by a particular researcher, when they are followed, it could be replicated, right? So this is replicable, okay? So research is systematic, it's logical, it's empirical, reductive, and it is replicable. And the nature of research is that the new knowledge is gathered on the basis of data, and it's from primary sources, okay? And it is the first-hand sources or source which is used for the data collection, and on the basis of that primary data, the new knowledge is discovered. And the emphasis in research is upon the discovery of general principles, okay? Because we want to know a phenomena thoroughly, okay? And we want to know that what general principles are at work behind a particular phenomena, right? So that discovery of general principles is really important. And then it is exactly systematic and accurate investigation, right? Because anyone, if the researcher is changed, if one particular researcher is replaced with some other researcher, but the procedures are followed by a particular design, when those procedures are met, then the findings are almost similar, okay? Those are similar findings. So it should be exactly systematic, okay? And then accurate investigation because it is objective. There is no subjectivity involved. So the investigation is accurate. And then certain valid data gathering devices are used, right? So those devices, those standardized instruments which are used by a research study, those are standardized. Those are selected in such a manner that the discovery of facts is really out of any doubt, right? And it is reliable, it is valid, right? So in order to make it more reliable and more valid, we must be using those tools and those instruments which are standardized and which are very valid, okay? And then it is logical and objective because the systematic procedures are involved, okay? And then there is objectivity behind every scientific procedure. So without involving our own, reflection or our own subjectivity within research, this is based on, objective finding. Okay, so that is the nature of research. And within research, we must be, proceeding in a way which would resist to our own, our own wish of finding things in a proper way, right? And this is the resistance to the temptation for seeking the data which may be supporting our own hypothesis, right? So that must be based on the scientific procedure. The procedure should be scientific, and it must be, away from our own feelings, right? That must be based on objectivity and those procedures which are objectively followed. And it must be eliminating our personal feelings, our personal preferences, right? And that is research, that is logical, when our personal feelings and personal preferences are reduced, when they are eliminated. And then research is, a very passionate, a very unhurried activity, because, it is a saying that research must be teaching you patience, right? So it is a very, patient way of discovering things. You may be experimenting again and again, or you may be following a very exhaustive, data. So it is a job which needs patience, and those patience are important, okay? So it's an activity which is based on patient, procedures. And as the part of research, it is carefully recorded. It is, written in a very particular way, so that it is reported to others, to other researchers, to other, stakeholders who can study and further go for conclusions and for generalizations, which are arrived carefully and cautiously. And a proper research study is when all these, steps are followed, and all these are the characteristics of research, right? So research is something which is detached to our own feelings, which is not based on our own wish, okay? And it is objective, and it is a passionate activity, and the conclusions and the generalizations are very carefully and very cautiously, decided on the basis of data.